Says I'm live. Trump wants to drug test Biden, and Biden went into hiding. I mean, he went into hiding on his debate prep. Now, if this guy is jacked on dope, there's a lot of things they can do to him through that debate prep. To get his mind more alert and all. Like they can do a couple of complete freaking. They can do a complete plasma transfusion. I mean, it's risky, but it's know, I mean, a complete plasma transfusion will pretty much clean your blood out. Number one. Number two, it probably reinvigorates some of the crap going on up here because you got clean plasma running through your veins. You know, and plasma is what your blood cells sit in. So I mean, if the water river is clean, the stuff that's in it, you know, will probably get cleaned up. Number two, you can put that guy on the stage with an intravenous feed into his arm. you can have it. You can have all the dope you want packed in a little fanny pack or something. Some people you wear that's not really. You can't really see it. I know. I used to wear one. I used to wear one. I'm sure they made them smaller. They have them smaller than what I was wearing. You know, and just they could hit a button. Just like when I was in the hospital, I hit a button and I get jacked up on morphine. All I do is hit a button. All they do is have one that's run by Wi-Fi, have a small enough pump where it can be concealed on his body, have a little bit of dope in there. Every time he needs a boost, hit him up. I'd be watching his behavior during this debate. I mean, when they pan out, just watch his behavior. I mean, if all of a sudden he starts doing this, you see him starting to get agitated, starts to get a little bit agitated, a little bit agitated, and all of a sudden he's agitated. They're jacking him up. And like I said, a complete blood transfusion would clean his blood. Okay, that way they can drug test him all they want. And it'd probably clear up his mind a little bit because he's jacked on dope. That's part of his dementia, man. It's just fucking his head up. Puppy, there's treats right there. You gotta eat those treats because the stupid old Target won't let me go in there to buy treats for you. Good girl. Anyway, you know, I mean, you could look up stuff like that, man. I mean, Keith Richards had more than one complete plasma transfusion because he's so addicted to heroin to clean his blood up, man, so he can get off the dope. And you can get off the dope that way if you got enough money to do it, you know, and you got good doctors to work with you. I mean, there's no problem with doing it more than likely. I don't know what the risk factor is. I just looked into it a little bit. But those pumps, yeah, they got those, man. And they got Wi-Fi signals you can put up. Hit him, hit him again. Man, he's starting to get a little down. Look at it, he's dozing off. You know, and you might think I'm crazy for thinking that. I'm an old dopey, man. If I wanted to get high, I'm gonna get high. you know, that's the thinking behind these people. And they've already found the crap in the White House. I don't know why he would be using cocaine. Cocaine isn't like speed. Speed will get his head going. Cocaine will be more, especially the powder. I mean, you're more mellow on that stuff. You're a little, but you're a little more laid back. The methamphetamines. I've done both of them, so I did both of them at the same time one time. That was a weird high. Anyway, I'm just saying, I mean, the debate's already one sided. It's 3-on-1. you know, and Trump's good at debating. As soon as they start pulling those cards out, man, he's gonna throw them right back in their face, man. He's gonna do a gambit thing, man. He's gonna throw them back in their face with a lot of power, you know. He's gonna literally take those little race cards and all the other crap they're trying to his indictment and his supposed sentence. They're gonna try and throw that up his butt, and he's gonna turn around and put it right up theirs, man. Stick it square in a keister, man. Throw it right in their face. It's a one-sided debate because he's winning, and they got to do a 3-on-1 on this guy, man. I mean, those are odds that Marines like, 3-on-1. When I was younger, man, I've taken on 3-on-1 to help somebody. Got a Coast Guard commander's accommodation for it too. So I got a written letter of accommodation from a Coast Guard commander for saving his son's ass. He was getting about ready to get beat up by three bikers out back in Chicago in the '80s, like '84. He was a little black kid with a white girl, and they followed him out the door. I mean, we were having a cake party back in the '80s. You had a young kids showing up at fucking cake parties, all right. And most of the older heads, we usually tried to look out for the kids. Seriously, we did. We weren't like looking out for them. No, we were looking out for them, making sure they don't walk off with somebody, you know, or making sure if they're hooked up with somebody that the person they're hooked up with is on the up and up. But anyway, man, I took on three guys, man, three big motherfuckers, and I'm not a big dude. I'm 5'8", about 100. About that time, I was about 145, 150 pounds. But it's pretty solid, pretty well built, know how to fight. Man, they start chasing this kid up the beach, man. I body tackled two of them, rolled off them, grabbed the other guy and threw him on the ground. And by the time I did all that, they were far enough down the beach where they just pulled their attention back on me. I took all the beating for them. Got my throttle, got put in the hospital. I mean, I got put in the hospital. I got taken to the hospital. Anyway, that's what they're doing to Trump, man. They're doing the three on one thing on him, man. I mean, it's ridiculous the way they're exposing themselves, and they have no choice. Everything that they're putting out there in the public eye is being turned back around on them because their main tactic is they accuse you of what they're doing. That's a Nazi tactic, man. They accuse the Jews of what the Nazis were doing to the Jews. They accuse the Jews of doing that to the people, so they can get away with doing what they were doing to the Jews. That's the way the Nazis worked, man. They made the people afraid of the Jews. When the Jews were actually, some of them were pillars of society, man. I mean, shit, some of these people were powerful people, man. You know, and they were good people. They weren't evil or, you know, they were just very rich and very wealthy. God's blessing, prosperity, man. Follow God's laws and become prosperous. You know. Anyway, that's what I was talking about him. This guy's gonna be so jacked. He's gonna look like they got a damn 1,000 volts going up his ass. I mean, seriously, man, they got to clear his brain, and I guarantee you, a complete blood transfusion or a complete plasma transfusion will clear his brain. It'll clear up enough of the haze that's coming with the dope use to where he's at least halfway cognizant, like he was when he first came into office. He was just showing the signs of Alzheimer's. Now he's sundowning and everything else. But on the first two debates, he was pretty jacked. You know, He was, I mean, and every time he's gone out there and he watched the decline because they can't keep jacking this guy up without screwing his brain up even more. So they got to clean his blood out and put new shit in his body so he can have a clear mind a little bit more. I mean, it's part of physiology, man. The more tobacco I put in my body, the more my mind gets clouded up. Same with marijuana. The more of this I put in my body, the more my mind gets clouded up. And now that I'm getting older, it's getting having an effect on me. And at 65, I'm forgetting words that I know are there, that I know I have to say that means what I want to say, but I'm forgetting the word. That hasn't happened to me. It's only happened within the last few years. So at least I'm aware enough of this stuff to know that I'm having a little lapse in memory for my age. So I just got to slow down my thoughts and think a little clearer. Be quiet a little bit, calm my head down. Anyway, going back to the point, this guy, they're going to do a blood cleaning on him. Watch. You won't find out about it, but you'll see. You'll see. He'll be jacked, but he'll be a little bit more aware of what's going on. You know, and also a, a, a lot of cocaine use gives you the shits. So, that's just a physiological fact. What are you doing, Poppy? What are you doing back there? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? She got to make her cameo appearance. You making your cameo appearance, Poppy? Or you just gonna get a drink of water? Go get some food. I'm trying to get her on new treats because I can't go to a fucking store and get the treats she likes, man. This cat is so picky. I swear to God, she don't eat fish. I mean, I buy fresh fish, nothing added to it, fresh fish. Let it heat up to room temperature. Put it in her bowl, and she ignores it. I don't even get her canned fish. I get her fresh stuff, man. And she ignores it. She ignores fresh chicken. If I bought some chicken up in here and I've had a couple of times I had some raw chicken up in here and I use the spices when I cook, so I don't want to give her any spices. But, right, Poppy? Yeah? Are you going to watch Poppy TV? Are you going to watch Poppy TV? No, you want to get in that bag. Or you want a pet? You want a pet or do you want a brush? You want a brush? She don't know what she wants. I try to play with her as much as possible, but sometimes I'm just like mentally and physically fatigued, man. It's like I'm getting right now. It gets dangerous when I get mentally fatigued because I have a few depression problems, so I gotta keep my head clear a little bit. I gotta learn to just laugh at things, man. I mean, just like this whole thing with Target, man. The merry-go-round with Target. You know what I mean? The merry-go-round with Target. I mean, I went to different lawyers, man, and nobody will take the case. I guarantee you, 10 years ago, if I'd had a case like this and I was in this wheelchair, they would have come running. They would have come running up behind me. And I was one's concerned about the immigration, the transsexuals, all this other garbage. People that don't even fucking matter. I'm not saying as human beings they don't matter, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm saying as far as putting disabled people up a little bit higher than where they are in society, as far as what we need for our access, what we need for legal stuff. I mean, if I tried to get a job and they discriminate, they'll come running to me. But I got hurt in a store and they run me out. They physically grab my chair. Did you call the cops? I go, I told them to call the cops. I have to wait till I get home to call the cops. By that time, the whole situation's diffused. And the cops are going to come tell me, well, that's a civil matter. We can't do anything about it. It's exactly what the cops will tell me. I've done this before, man. I've called the cops on people up in here. It's a civil matter. You got, take it civil court. For blatant, some of the stuff's blatantly criminal activity, man. You know. Anyway, um, I'm out. Peace out. Simplify. Love you guys. And stream end.